Hey guys, welcome to Paint the Kitchen Red. I'm Nina and I share Instant Pot tips and recipes on my blog paintthekitchenred.com. If you're new to the Instant Pot and you haven't checked out my videos on how to use the Instant Pot, I highly recommend that you check those out. I have a video on the Duo, the Duo Nova, the Duo Gourmet, the Duo Evo Plus, and the Ultra. Today I'm going to be telling you all about how to release pressure on your Instant Pot. If you are new to the Instant Pot and you're looking at a recipe, you may see terms like NPR, QR, natural release, natural pressure release, natural release for 10 minutes. These are all different ways of releasing pressure based on the type of food that you're cooking. So I'll tell you all about the different methods and when you would use each method. So let's get started. I just wanted to quickly point out the differences between the float valve positions of the various Instant Pot models. You'll notice that the float valve in the down position is below the level of the lid in this particular model of Instant Pot. And in this model of Instant Pot, which has a button, the float valve is at the level of the lid when it is in the down position. The first type of pressure release is the natural release. This is when you allow the pressure to drop on its own. After pressure cooking is complete, you just wait for the float valve to go down on its own. And this can take from 5 to 40 minutes. And this depends on how much food you have in the Instant Pot and how dense the food is. Natural release can be used for longer cooking foods, such as chilies, roasts, and soups. And this is because the food continues cooking even after pressure cooking is complete. Use natural release to keep foods intact. For example, foods with a skin, such as beans. The natural release method allows the skin to stay intact instead of bursting, since the pressure and temperature go down gradually. And finally, it's a great choice for meats. Natural release is the equivalent of allowing meats to rest after they've been grilled or roasted. And what that does is it allows juices to settle back into the meat. And that's where I use natural release the most. The second type of steam release is the quick release. Quick release is when you release the pressure immediately after cooking is done. The way you release pressure varies based on what type of lid you have, and that varies by model. The first type is a steam release handle, where you move the steam release handle from sealing to venting when you're ready to do the quick release, and the float valve will drop once the pressure has been released. The second type of lid is one with a steam release button, and you push down on the steam release button until it locks into place, and this will cause the pressure to be released and the float valve will drop. Another type of lid is one where you have a switch. You slide the switch from sealing to venting, and that causes the pressure to be released and the float valve drops once the pressure has been released. Quick release immediately stops the cooking process for fast cooking foods. It's a great option for seafood, vegetables, or any foods that can easily overcook. It's also useful for when you need to add ingredients to the inner pot partway through cooking. In this case, you would do a quick release, open the lid, add the additional ingredients, and then close the lid and program the Instant Pot to continue pressure cooking. The quick release method is the quickest pressure release method. Another type of pressure release is the 15 or 10 minute natural release. This is a hybrid of both the quick release and the natural release. And what you do is you wait for 10 minutes or 15 minutes, depending on what the recipe calls for, and then you do a quick release and allow the pressure to drop. Some recipes call for a 10 or 15 minute natural release, but in some cases, if you have a recipe that tells you to do a natural release but you don't have the time, you can use this method of pressure release. And the final steam release method is the quick release in bursts. This is when you release the pressure intermittently in small bursts. If you have a steam release handle, you would just move it back and forth until the steam coming out is less forceful, and then you put it all the way into the venting position. If you have a steam release button, you'll push down on the button, not all the way, but almost all the way, and then just press and release the button until the steam coming out is less forceful, and then you'll push the button all the way down until the steam is released and the float valve goes down. If you have a steam release switch, you'll move the switch from seal to vent back and forth until the steam is less forceful, and then you'll put it into the vent position until all the steam has been released and the float valve goes down. You use this method of steam release when you're cooking foods like pasta or oatmeal. These foods, when you do a quick release, can produce a lot of mess and froth. So doing an intermittent quick release or a quick release in bursts is the best option. I hope I've given you enough information that when you see a recipe and they talk about a method of releasing pressure, you're able to follow it with confidence. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and stay tuned for more videos on the Instant Pot. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.